Yes, fight fans, this is Body and Mind Sports. Welcome. You are fully appreciated if you are here for another session of boxing talk. And in this round, guys, things are heating up, guys, as Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford go back and forth at each other online. I will also be covering, of course, the situation, the latest news on the Canelo versus David Benavidez fight, and another fight also, Canelo versus David Morrell, all of which at the moment are just speculative fights, but indeed fights that fans are heavily looking for, especially the David Benavidez fight versus Saul Canelo Alvarez. So let me start with this. This weekend just gone, 14th of September, we had the Canelo versus Edgar Berlanga fight, guys, and Terence Crawford had something to say on social media. He had put out a post basically, revealing what he thought of the fight. And he made it clear with just one sentence, guys. And it read like this: put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. That was Terence Crawford. And in saying so, I guess he means that he has seen the rest. Now it's time for people to see the best in there with Saul Canelo Alvarez, that he is in fact ready to jump in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. His post was backed up by another post with a picture of Terence Crawford and Turkey Allow Sheikh, of course, Crawford's financial backing for the fights that he is looking for, guys. And in that post, we have Turkey Allow Sheikh saying, "Come on, Canelo," actually urging on Canelo to come on, and finishes off saying, "We are ready." And that was Turkey Allow Sheikh, meaning that he is ready to put in another offer for Saul Canelo Alvarez, guys, if he is ready to come to the negotiation tables, of course, with serious serious quotation on what he's actually looking for this time around. So Terence Crawford lately though has put out another well, not put out a post, but I've seen him in another interview lately, and I actually saw this on TMZ Sports, guys. Go check it out when you have time. And this was an interview with Terence Crawford, and he was asked about the Edgar Berlanga Canelo fight this weekend, and he said, in fact, he thought two of the fighters performed very well. Saul Canelo Alvarez did what he always comes to do, and Edgar Berlanga on the other side fought bravely enough to make it an entertaining fight. But by the end of the interview, when asked what, how he thinks he might perform versus Canelo, and Crawford just says it loud and clear, with no doubt in his mind, that he believes he beats Canelo Alvarez, and that is a bag load of confidence coming from Terence Crawford, that he is in no doubt, guys. And this is despite the fact that a lot of fans are casting doubt on um, you know, Terence Bud Crawford being able to even put up a good fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez. They are saying that he's too small. Well, why are they saying this? Well, this stems from more from, after Crawford had his fight with Israel Madrimov at junior middleweight, guys, where they didn't get the knockout that they were looking for. But it was clear that it's a fight that Terence Bud Crawford controlled from the beginning all the way right to the end. And of course, it's a new division and different styles for different folks, guys. It is just about styles in this boxing world. When two opponents step in the ring, is the styles that make the fight. We weren't really seeing Israel Madrimov trying to take it to the smaller man, Crawford, either. So that should in fact let people know that Crawford is not too small. Anytime that Israel Madrimov tried, Crawford very, very obviously always came out, with the upper hand. So it was obviously something that Crawford was doing in there that Madrimov could not take him lightly, could not look at him as a small man. But so that is where a lot of this this notion is coming from. The notion that fans are giving off is stemming from that fight, guys, Crawford versus Madrimov, where fans are of the opinion now that they don't think that Crawford can put up a good enough fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez. And for that reason, they are not sure whether they want to see the fight or not. And many people are of this opinion. But trust me, I believe if you put up that fight, they will watch it, guys, despite what they're saying. A majority of them who are saying this are just Canelo fans anyway. They will watch it just for the fact that Terence Crawford is the most highly rated fighter in the world right now, hands down, maybe besides Usyk. He is the most highly rated fighter right now, hands down. And as big a name as Canelo Alvarez is, if he's facing the number one highly rated fighter in the world right now, pound for pound champion, people are gonna tune in to see what the smaller man can do, and people are gonna tune in to see what Canelo is able to do with a fighter that is obviously as skilled as Terence Bud Crawford is. They are just simply invested in that alone, and there are other factors also. But Canelo, he has bought into the same idea also, saying that after Crawford fought at 154, now he knows that there are weight classes, guys. So that is what Canelo said in an interview after the fight, that now Crawford knows why there are weight classes after fighting Madrimov at 154. He says that Crawford is gifted, and because he's gifted, he thinks he can fight everybody, which is a ridiculous statement to say, because you could also apply that to Saul Canelo Alvarez too, because he's gifted. He thinks he could fight everybody. Do you know why I say that? Because he fought Danny Jacobs at 160 and then straight away just jumped up, to fight Kovalev at light heavyweight, guys, which is something that just straight off discredits and contradicts what Canelo Alvarez is saying about the size. Because from 160 to 175, that is 15 pounds, guys. That's 15 pounds difference. And right now, Terence Bud Crawford is at junior middleweight. Yeah, that is 154. So 154 to 168. That is how much? So we have, that is 14 pounds, guys. 14 pounds we have there. So, where's the weight issue? There's only 1 pound different. And even if you were to consider that pound, you know, Canelo Alvarez versus Kovalev was more of a weight issue. If you want to be petty, and despite that, I mean, if you want to discard that, fine by me. But I have also another argument. Terence Bud Crawford started his career, I believe, at 135, and Saul Canelo Alvarez started his career at 140. So in the real world, in reality, although one man has shot up the weight classes so fast and the other one is still 2 divisions behind him, it doesn't really paint the full picture, because in reality, Canelo Alvarez is really not that bigger than Terence Bud Crawford. They started near enough, yeah, at the same weight division. Near enough. One at 140, the other 135. And that gap is just naturally closing up now again, as you can see. Canelo Alvarez reaching his ceiling at 168. Crawford is reached 154, and already he has beaten what many would agree with him is the best in that division anyway, in Israel Madrimov. So how is that weight class his ceiling when he's beating the best? Who else is gonna beat him? Who else is gonna beat him at 154 that people are saying that is his ceiling? Okay, but wait, I have another argument to support Terence Bud Crawford versus Saul Canelo Alvarez, and it is this, guys. Just before Terence Bud Crawford beat Errol the True Spence, was there not news circulating that there might be a fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Errol the True Spence? What happened to that fight? It seemed to be a fight that Canelo was interested in, and so was Errol the True Spence. No one seems to be talking about it then. Seems to be talking about it now so much. But I remember people were talking heavily about it once upon a time, not too long ago. And Crawford just fought at 147, guys. You beat the man that Canelo was interested in beating. And I know people are gonna say Errol the True Spence is a bigger name, therefore better business opportunities there for Canelo. How dare you say that when we got Turki Al Sheikh on Terence Bud Crawford's side? Canelo wasn't gonna get no 100 million facing Terence. Stop that, man. He wasn't gonna get no 150 million that he was asking for to face Spence. Come on, stop that, guys. And he wasn't gonna get the 100 million to face Errol either. These are all offers that have been put on the table for him to face. Not all, but the 100 million is a realistic offer that Turki Al Sheikh has put on the table for him to face Terence Bud Crawford, and would have been his biggest payday by far, guys. by far. And yeah, so Canelo saying that, now Crawford knows there are weight classes, and he believes that all he's looking for is a payday. He didn't say that directly, but that is what he alluded to in his answer. At that is what he alluded to. That everybody is looking for a payday, and in that I know he means Terence Bud Crawford, and I guess other fighters also. In the same interview, the reporter, the interviewer actually was directing Canelo's answers, quite a bit, because he kind of alluded to that the fight between Terence Bud Crawford and Israel Madrimov was, that Terence Bud Crawford's performance wasn't that spectacular. But that's fine enough. Canelo Alvarez gave his answer and he said what he said. But he was also asked about another fighter, Sal Canelo Alvarez, I'm talking about now, was also asked about another fighter, and that is David Morrell. And again, the interviewer alluded to that David Morrell's last outing. Who was his last outing with? David Morrell's last outing was at light heavyweight, in fact, and it was against Radi Vij Kaladzic. I don't know, man. That's a East European fighter, I guess. And Morrell faced him at light heavyweight, and in fact won that fight via a unanimous decision, guys. Didn't get the KO, but he got a dominant unanimous decision performance. And Canelo, of course, biting what the interviewer said. When they asked him that that Morrell didn't seem to perform too well in his fight either, and whether that means that Morrell is off his list as a possible opponent. And Canelo said yes. Just simply said yes, I guess so. So yeah, I guess Morrell is off the list then. It's just like that in boxing. You get this one fighter that just wants to hog all the titles, and when he reaches a point can just pick and choose who he wants. And I don't think that is how things should be going. If this thing here we call boxing is all about fighting for legacy, all about the best facing the best. I mean, why should one person hog all the cash? You earned a lot of money, now give another person a chance to go in there and earn. That's just the way I see it. But it is business at the end of the day. So yeah, I kind of understand. Not good though for us fans. So on that note, the interviewer again alluding to that David Benavidez' performance against Alexander Vojdik at super lightweight also wasn't that good. So it's kind of guiding where Canelo's answers should be aimed at. And Canelo, you could read through this. The interviewer made it a bit easy for Canelo, if you ask me, to say what he wants to say. So Canelo said that he's basically just said that 175 is David Benavidez' actual weight class, despite the fact that David Benavidez has just jumped up to that weight class. I know he's a big man for 168, but it's literally just jumped up to 175. So for him to say that is Benavidez' weight class, damn. But he also goes on to say that, well, now that he's in his own weight class at 175 and he's fighting there, he doesn't look so good. He doesn't look like the monster that everybody is saying that he is. And I disagree. I would say that David Benavidez looked every bit as, you know, as the monster that people say he was in that fight. Of course, this is a bigger man. Not every fight is going to be a knockout. Number one, he's got to get adjusted to the weight class properly. Number two, he dominated that fight, and he beat the shit out of Alexander Vojdik. But the man, is harder to get the big people down, guys. And that is all it is. Canelo is just being clever, in finding a way to avoid these fighters. But however, I must conclude that he did not totally rule out Terence Crawford or David Benavidez. However, he emphatically did say that the David Morrell fight would, of course, not even get a look in, basically. So with that said, that's all I have for you this time round on Body and Mind Sport, guys. One thing though, one addition, David Benavidez and David Morrell have, however, said that if there's an offer, open for them to come down and face Saul Canelo Alvarez, that they would, in fact, and are willing to do that, guys, which is great news. Well, at least for David Benavidez, because Canelo has not totally counted out that fight, and for Terence Crawford also. So with that said, that's all I have for you on this session of Boxing Talk. Catch me next time on Body and Mind Sports. But before you leave, do like, do share, subscribe. Definitely do subscribe and support the channel, and leave your comments down below. Drop your comments, guys. And as always, until I see you once more, stay very blessed.